Welcome back to Nerds R Us, a show where anybody can be a kid. We're here today and we're talking anime weapons. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Mr. Ike Siemens and Mr. Tyler Hostler.
What up, guys?
Hey fam, what up?
Alright guys, we're talking anime weapons. We've all been watching anime for at least a little bit now. What are some dope, super sick weapons that you were like, man, why is that not in my real life right now?
Soul Eater, you got the Death Sights,
Oh yeah, I forgot about the death sights where they're like your fucking friend, but then you're also like,
yeah, dude,
you know,
sick as shit,
killing people with them. Dude, I wish I could like grab people in real life and just like throw them at other people,
right?
As like a weapon,
turn them into a weapon. Like, I haven't seen that show in a minute, but like, what's his face with the white and black hair? He has guns, the twins.
Oh yeah, the guns are the twins girls. Yeah,
sick as shit.
Yeah, that part's super good. He's a super good weapon. I don't know, dude. I like the weapons that are kind of just like more realistic in a way. Like I like Ronin Kenshin's like reverse blade sword, which like I don't know if a reverse blade sword is an actual thing in real life, but it's like swords are a real thing.
They've actually done like documentaries on like having reverse blade swords and stuff because having a quote unquote weapon back in the day, samurais were just farmers, you know, and so they had to make it look unsuspicious, like farm tools and stuff. So that's where you get the sickles and stuff like that, the scythes as weapons, all that shit, because they had to be keeping the image of farmers or whatever because they were planning to not like, or trying to show that they weren't planning to overthrow the government and all that stuff. So a lot of those weapons, like reverse blade swords and stuff, they were like, oh, this is just a, you know,
for like
wood splitter,
shit.
Yeah, weed cutters and like stupid stuff like that, even though they were meant to be actual weapons to protect themselves and whatnot. So
yeah, I don't know. I always like watch that show with the reverse blade sword, and I was like, it seems like he's just hitting them with like a blunt object almost every time, you know, because it's like not cutting them or like killing them, but he's like hitting them so hard that it's like he's kind of killing them. He's always like, I didn't like cut your head off. I just fucking collapsed your trachea with this blunt weapon, but I didn't kill you, so we're good. It's like the
decapitate you.
That's called the Batman way of doing things.
Yeah, I threw you off this building, but the chances of survival are at least 40%. So that's your fucking fault.
Are you more of a sword guy, or are you more of like a gun guy when it comes to anime?
Honestly, I definitely like blades. I've always been a huge fan of blades. I mean, obviously, in real, like, practical application, I own a ton of guns, but I also own, like, 400 and something fucking knives, too. Like, I just have a ton of weaponry.
Do you also, you're a gun guy or you're a sword guy?
In anime, I like the swords. Battles are way more intense.
They're way more intense, yeah. They are. I don't know, they got some sick guns in anime, though. I mean, you got...
Well, the thing is what's really cool is when you have a gun versus a sword in anime, because then you have, like...
You got the long range versus the short range.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, the Kid Death from freaking Soul Eater. Yeah, he was super good. Like, those guns were sick. Both the guns were, like, exactly the same, and he was, like, super accurate with them. It made it really cool.
Shot him upside down with his pinkies and weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's it. Leave it the anime to be ridiculous as fuck. I don't know. I like the cross gun from Trigun that the preacher guy uses.
Dude, that was fucking awesome.
Where he just, like, carries, like, just, like, a huge cross from, like, town to town. And then he breaks it out and, oh shit, what? It's a machine gun? Like,
it's like the most badass machine gun.
Look, I'm not religious, but I would join that church. Like, in a minute, dude.
I would be part of that
minute, I would join that church.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
I also like back to realistic weapons. I also like realistic guns too in anime. Like, I like the gun that Cowboy Bebop used. Or that Spike uses in Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just like a normal fucking gun. It's like...
The Jericho, yeah.
Yeah, the Jericho. It's like, what is it? It's like a 9mm gun that he just carries around.
Yeah, it's
and
like it's like an old school Colt type revolver.
Yeah.
It's super simple, but it's fucking efficient and badass, and because of the long barrel, it's super accurate and stuff too.
Is that what makes it? Is that like what's supposed to make it super accurate? Because I was like, man, this guy can really shoot.
Yeah, so the longer the barrel, the more accuracy you have for distance, for like range shots and stuff, because the barreling in the rifle, like the little spiral down the center of the rifling tube, is actually what gives it the directional flow, like the airflow behind it, so it actually cuts through the air correctly and continues traveling in the same direction for a longer period of time. That's why concealed carries, like I call it my Packer Wrecker, my little 380 or whatever. It's like a 2.5-inch barrel, so it's not very accurate for long distances and stuff. It's meant to be like close combat, but hey, I'm putting you on your ass either fucking way, you know what I mean? So the longer the gun, the more accurate the distance-wise it is. But shorter distance guns are a lot smaller and stuff. That's why, like, the Dominator or whatever from Psycho-Pass, that one's not a standard typical bullet, it injects
fucking like a plasma rifle or like a taser.
It injects a solution into your bloodstream that causes your blood to clot like fucking Blade Trinity or whatever.
Yeah.
Just blows you the fuck up. Just disintegrates you. It's like, oh, that's pretty fucking violent, but awesome.
Yeah, I do love that gun. What I like about that gun is when it looks different like each time. Like when they point at someone, it's just a regular gun, and then like they'd be like, oh, threat level like.
Reevaluate,
and then it would like reevaluate, and the gun morphs into like a fucking taser.
Yeah,
and then it morphs a third time to be like a fatal blow.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? Do you like weapons that like have like a magical ability to them or like a special ability?
Yeah, like me personally, I actually just due to growing up with them and stuff, I became more and more proficient with like realistic weapons, and so the unrealistic weapons, the more magical or like sci-fi type weapons, those became more and more intriguing. As
because you don't have them in your everyday life.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, like I said, I have swords, I have knives, I have guns, I have everything. So it's like as time passed, I became more proficient with the realistic weapons, and I'm like, oh, okay, so. How about let's check into those unrealistic things and do some crazy shit, like wanted curve the bullet type shit.
Curve the bullet, yeah. Everybody wants to curve the bullet, man. You know how many people I'm sure probably shot their friend trying to it's gonna go right past your face, but it won't touch you, I swear.
I see Tyler doing that.
If he's not on next week's episode, guys, it's how you know where he is. He's in the grave.
Curving bullets.
He's out curving bullets.
Oh, shit.
If he does successfully curve it, he'll just go like, straight around and actually hit him in the face.
Shoot himself in the kneecap. Fuck!
I don't know, dude. I like, those kind of things, even though they're, like, not relatable at all. Like, Inuyasha's sword, where, like, the Tetsaiga, I think it's called the Tetsaiga. Yeah. And, like, when he uses that, and it's, like, a regular sword, like, just like a normal sword, but then he holds it and it turns into like a giant fucking sword out of nowhere because of its like half demon, half like human abilities, and it's like a badass sword, and then he can destroy like 100 demons with it at any time. It's cool that he like has to use that, and then I also like that when in anime they have to like learn how to use the weapon, like they have to slowly get better with it.
Yeah, dude.
Because some animes, because like in Rurouni Kenshin, it's like. It's a super good show, and like sometimes he kind of starts to get beat up, but then he's like, "Just kidding, I'm actually the greatest samurai in the world," and he never loses.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of like, he's gonna win.
Yeah, and that's like Samurai Champloo and Rurouni Kenshin are kind of on the same level there or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like they use realistic weapons, but at the same time they have such proficiency with those weapons that they don't need those weapons to win. It's like. Rurouni Kenshin and stuff, he's like, I don't need a blade to kill you. I can bust your ass up and put you on the floor and make sure you're not getting back up anytime soon, with the backside of a blade, with the blunt side of a blade. And it's like, just domes people and stuff. And then like in Samurai Champloo, I mean, pretty much all the main characters in that were like, hey, take this fucking sand in the face and shit. Like, let me kick you at this building and watch this building fall on you and crazy shit, like.
There's no weapons in here, but there's a bucket of berries. I bet I could use these to fight.
Dude, Cowboy Bebop was like very similar in a lot of aspects, like he'd get disarmed and then he'd just go fucking throw
a chair.
Yeah, a chair and just throw shit at him and fuck him up still. It was like, I'll just use your weapon. It's cool. Like, I don't need mine.
What's a weapon in anime that you watch that you were like, oh, this is stupid, that's a shitty weapon, or that it's like something that is not cool even in fantasy. It's not cool.
I don't know.
I would say I don't really like the swords from Bleach.
Really? Why not?
Yeah, I just think they're like, oh, like each sword is different, but they're the same, and then you have to master your sword and figure. Whenever they were like, every sword has its own name, and you have to figure out the sword's name. I was like, it's just a sword, dude. Like,
name whatever the fuck you want to name it.
and then it was like they just like. Yeah, I know, that's the same problem that happens with pretty much any anime that goes on for too long. It was like, there's only 3 stages of the sword. Just kidding, there's a 4th stage of the sword. I know you just reached level 4, but have you heard of 6, 7, 8, and 9?
Yeah.
And it's like, the sword gets like progressively like more unbeatable, to where it's like, oh, he's gonna win every fight.
Super.
Every Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball.
No
Let's be real here. Oh, Super Saiyan? Cool. Super Saiyan 2? Cool. Super Saiyan 17? Alright, I'm done.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, fucking Ultra Instinct God level. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, let's go with that one. That one sounds good.
What's the coolest looking weapon they use in anime?
Ah, fuck, dude. There's a lot of dope ass fucking weapons in anime. Personally, I do like the Dominator, just because the
way it transforms.
evolving weapon status.
Yeah, and then it like says stuff like while it's doing it. It's like switching to fatal mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. And it's like super like, it seems super technologically advanced. I mean, they could have that on a base somewhere, we don't even know.
Well, dude, they're already coming out with that. They have that handgun technology out where it reads your bio fingerprints, like your.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I saw them, it was shoot 'em up.
Yeah, it registers your DNA and your fingerprints simultaneously and unlocks the weapon so that only you can use it. But yeah, that's like real technology right now. I mean, it's expensive as fuck, obviously, so it's not in practical application for like normal everyday activity type stuff. But I mean, at the same time, like, it's pretty fucking cool that they're able to do that kind of shit. Like, it's a bulky ass gun too, though. So.
I'm sure it'd be big as fuck.
Yeah.
Just put the fingerprint on it. That's like an extra like at least 3 inches.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, there's some practical application in that stuff, and to know that they're.
Nobody else can shoot it except for you. I mean, yeah, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
That's a cool spot. Man, I'm trying to think of what my cool. I mean, the cross gun is obviously really cool, but also like it looks super cool. But like, I would never want to carry that shit around.
Yeah.
You know, it's like solid metal that you're just like fucking carrying around wherever you go.
What always bothers me about like anime and stuff is these little tiny fucking skinny guys carry these big ass bulky weapons. That's kind of why I like Black Clover, because it's like it made it a little bit more realistic with what's his fucking name? I just spaced his name. Anyways, with the main character, he carries around those 2 bulky swords in his grimoire.
Oh.
And so like he has the massive one, and then he has the magic stealing ability one, where it can actually like take other people's magic ability and use it through that sword. But like his main sword, that big bulky demon sword that he carries,
He doesn't have to actually carry it around all the time.
he doesn't have to carry it around all the time, first off. Second off, it showed him being magically impaired the entire show, the first part of the show.
Mhm.
So he trained his body to become a fucking monster.
Oh, yeah,
So it
that's-
has like natural super speed, natural super strength and stuff, just because he pushed his body like
Been trained
way
himself
past
super
the
hard.
fucking limit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, dude. Like, it is kind of better, at least story-wise, when they have to master the weapon. That's why, like, I mean, back to Ronin Kenshin, but like in the movie in Samurai X, it shows him as a kid, and he has to learn the technique, and he's like not the best in the world. Like, he actually does get fucked up a couple times, and that's like it made the movie like 1,000 times better.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, coming from nothing and making something of yourself, even though you have no technical ability, is a lot more relatable, because nobody really knows what they're good at until they know. So it's like finding what you're good at, or finding out that you're not good at something that you want to be good at, and then pushing yourself to become good or the best at it is like way more normalized than, you know, just being like Goku, where it's like, oh, I put no effort in and I'm a fucking badass and I just eat a lot of
Vegeta, you know you've been training your whole life to be a Super Saiyan? Did it.
Yeah. Already beat you to it. It's like, oh, fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah. What about you, Tias? Do you like it when it's like they pick it up and they're like, this sword was destined to be yours, and they fucking beat ass with it immediately? Or is it better if they like suck dick and then have to train super hard for like the first 3 seasons of the show?
Well, I like sucking dick, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I like it when they have to like learn the sword and its abilities and stuff like that, and kind of train to be able to use its full potential.
Yeah. Do you like it? I kind of hate it when like certain weapons are like extremely overpowered though.
Mhm.
Or like even it's cool that they have to learn to train it, but it's like as soon as they like master it, it's like, oh, so you're One Punch Man now. Okay.
Yeah.
You can beat anybody, anytime, any reason. Alright, cool. Like, there's nobody can beat you. Well, this is a cool anime.
God, dude.
I never want to watch anybody lose.
Yeah. Fucking One Punch Man was still like... That's where, like...
That's the ultimate weapon right there.
Yeah, they came in comically, though. Like, they were able to...
They made a joke out of the fact that he was overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made it just like a fucking bummer. He's always like moping around and shit because he's so OP. He's like, oh, fuck this shit. Like, I don't even want to be here right now. This is bullshit. I'm just going to give everybody else the fame because I'm fucking over it. Like, yeah, I like that shit. It's funny too. As long as they do it right, I feel like they can do either or. But yeah, it's more relatable on a typical standpoint to, to have that come from nothing type situation.
Yeah, is it more relatable when they lose sometimes?
I feel like it's actually better if they lose occasionally, just because that keeps you,
Invested.
Yeah, exactly. Like with Goku, I mean,
When did he lose, dude? Never.
yeah, and it's like, well, even when he fucking died in the Cell games and shit, he dies, but then Gohan, he just like, uses King Kai to like talk to Gohan, and then lo and behold, he's doing the father-son Kamehameha with him, and it's like, but you're pretty fucking dead, aren't you, buddy? Like,
Yeah.
you still helping him fucking win? Fuck you, dude. Like, no, you're dead. It doesn't fucking count. Like, you didn't do shit. Fuck you.
True story, true story. Alright, I think it's time that we start our weekly head-to-head match. Me and Ike are gonna debate this one, and then Tyler Hossel over here is gonna pick the winner. And so I'm gonna take Ronin Kenshin and his reverse blade sword.
And I'm gonna do the shuriken from Naruto.
And Naruto's obviously using them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, here's the thing. Reverse blade sword, okay? First of all, swords automatically kick ass. Because they're swords, okay? But also, they can blow out like all your internal organs just by hitting them hard enough with that reverse blade sword. Also, he has a couple different techniques that are so fast when he draws from his sheath, he can block any weapon that's thrown at him, and he can, strike anybody that comes real close to him.
True. So I'm going to counter that with the fact that Naruto actually has used the shuriken to like distract. He's got distraction with it, so he can use multiple shuriken from multiple angles and stuff. He can also fucking hitch a ride on that shit, throw that shit, catch a ride, like super mega ninja status. But then as a distraction technique or whatever, with Rurouni Kenshin, his whole goal is not to kill somebody or whatever, and neither necessarily is Naruto, but Naruto's ingenuitive enough that, throw a distraction shuriken or whatever, and then sneak up on him knowing that he's not going to want to use, because after Rurouni Kenshin, pulls it from the sheath or whatever, he's got some lag time before he can strike again, unless he wants to use the sharp side of the blade and kill somebody. So knowing that, I feel like Naruto could sneak in close and put some damage down. But blade versus blade wise, Rurouni Kenshin's was like...
Yeah, but I think Rurouni Kenshin is quicker than Naruto is. That's the thing. Naruto's like got the stealth, but like, as you see in Rurouni Kenshin, anytime somebody gets within like a 360 of him,
yeah,
he's on it immediately. Also, like as the show goes on, he develops that technique where he can like run, and then as he's running, he takes like 2 steps, pulls his sword out, and it's so fast that it can't be seen by the eye.
Yeah. True, but I mean, like, they also have, like, those kind of techniques and stuff with Naruto. So I feel like...
Let's say techniques aside, like, not any jutsu, just like weapon to weapon.
Okay, so weapon to weapon, shurikens are not as technically well designed. I mean, they're more of a one and done type use situation. Now, granted, they have shown in Naruto that, repetitive wear and tear, it's pretty hard to break those things down or get them done. But at the same time, any samurai sword is going to be, like Rurouni Kenshin samurai sword was like, what, 100-fold or some shit?
Yeah.
If you know anything about swords, that makes the steel blade, like, infinitely stronger and more durable and less likely to lose edge. Or
it's like ridiculously hard to break.
You can't.
That's like a whole part of the thing. I remember because in the show, like his sword did get broken once, and they had to go find another reverse blade sword, and it was like stored inside of a rock.
Yeah.
Because of that's how like we could just need to like put a rock around this apparently because of how strong this fucking blade is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's heavy as fuck. I mean, it's like, what, like 50 pounds of steel?
Probably. I mean, and they fold it down into this little tiny fucking blade, and it just makes it indestructible practically. So I guess blade to blade, I'd have to give it to to the sword.
Me too. Tias, what's your decision?
I'm gonna have to go with the reverse blade.
Reverse blade sword it is. Boom. That was me smacking the table in excitement. Alright guys, well thanks so much for listening. Definitely check out our other episodes on our website at nrdsrus.com. You can also find us on Facebook, same name. We also got a YouTube channel. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and everything else you can think of. And if we're not there, sorry. And also, if you want to support us, feel free to check us out on Patreon. Donate $1 or $2. Get some cool perks and things like that. And in the meantime, stay classy, stay nerdy, and thanks so much for listening.